Right, big breaking news, and it regards Liverpool. James, what can you tell us?
Well, we were just talked about it before, but Hugo Ekitike is a Liverpool player. It's been confirmed, £79 million deal with Eintracht Frankfurt for the 23-year-old forward, £69 million in as a fixed fee, £10 million as add-ons. He will join Liverpool this season. He'll be flying out with their pre-season squad, and he will be a Liverpool player, a striker that's been high on the priority list for Liverpool throughout this window, has finally been completed. Now, I've got a bit of background on this. Now, it probably looks from the outset that Liverpool maybe were hijacking Newcastle's player after they made a bid. We'll get back to that, but Newcastle were a bit late to the party after missing out on Liam Delap, João Pedro. Liverpool have actually been in contact with Hugo Ekitike's camp since January, and Arne Slot has spoken to the player at the end of the season. Now, Manchester United also actually tried to swoop in last minute for Ekitike, but the player rejected that opportunity. He was sold on Liverpool. He wants Liverpool. Now, why Ekitike? Well, Liverpool feel he's a multifunctional centre-forward, so not only can he play through the middle as a number 9, he can drop in as a secondary striker role, even operate wide, which works with their fluidity of their attack that Arne Slot likes to do. For Liverpool, they look at the data and they're so impressed by his numbers from a data perspective. They also look at the uptake. So he's 23 years old. Is he a player that can improve moving forward? Well, they believe he is. And they believe, alongside the likes of Alexander Isak, that Hugo Ekitike has the potential to be one of the best players in the world. And if you look on data side, which Liverpool tend to do with a lot of their signings, with all their signings, they believe historical data tracking is quite limited at the moment, but Haaland and Mbappe are the only strikers under the age of 23 who have shown better potential at a comparable age. So this is how highly Liverpool rate Hugo Ekitike.
£70 million bid rejected by Eintracht Frankfurt, and this was of course against the backdrop of a certain Alexander Isak. Now, Newcastle United were thrashed 4-0 by Celtic in a pre-season friendly yesterday. Alexander Isak was not in the squad, and in fact he was left at home. Eddie Howe told everyone and the media exactly why Isak was left at home. Here he is now.
Alex was with us all the way through Austria, but today, with all the speculation and things that are going on, I decided to send him home. The last thing Alex wants if he's not playing is to be sat in the stand, being under that scrutiny. I don't think that's fair to the player. So if he wasn't going to play today, which we mutually agreed that he needs a little bit more training time, then it's best he's not here. Yes, I've had discussions with him, but that's not abnormal. I respect a player's career and how short it is. All the time I will be communicating my desires and my wishes to them and what I see and trying to help them. Alex has been really good, and he's trained really well so far this season. So I know there'll be lots of noise around it and I can't really control that, but from inside he's been really good.
Has there been any approach for Alex? Has there been any approach?
No, there's been no formal approach.
I respect a player's career and how short it is. Key words from Eddie Howe there about Alexander Isak. Should Newcastle United fans be worried in any way that this has reared its head again, given Liverpool have kind of pivoted from Alexander Isak to Hugo Ekitike? Could it go back the other way?
I don't think so. I think Liverpool are so far down the track with Hugo Ekitike and Frankfurt that it won't happen. However, the noise, I hate to say, for Newcastle fans won't go away. You get the feeling that we'll be talking about Alexander Isak right the way through to the deadline day on September the 1st. The positive as far as Newcastle fans are concerned is that Liverpool spending the best part of €100 million on Hugo Ekitike means that they don't have €100 million to spend on someone like Alexander Isak. And as we know, where the Premier League sides are conscious of PSR, we know that teams in La Liga have to be very careful about what they spend as well, particularly Barcelona, so it leaves only Real Madrid. There are very few sides in European football that could afford the type of money that Newcastle want. Now their stance is quite clear, and Eddie Howe said this after the game yesterday. He's not for sale, we don't want to sell him, and that will be their message to any potential suitor between now and September the 1st. But this is a player that got 32 goal involvements last season in all competitions. He was absolutely sensational. He was one of the best strikers in world football last season. So there is always going to be noise, there is always going to be interest. Now Newcastle do hold the cards because he has 3 years left on his current Newcastle contract, so therefore it's